Hello. This segment is about how I handle missing work. So, if a student was absent and something was handed out while that student was absent, what I do is we have a system, and it's probably from my elementary background because before coming to middle school, I was an elementary school teacher. Also, my family owns several daycare centers, so excuse me for the colors, but colors work really, really, really well for me. I have several of these containers that are labeled based on the team that the students sit at, and I change teams every 6 weeks, but we can talk about that in another segment. But these are, most of them came from the Dollar Tree, so $1.25 tree now, and they work wonders. So what I do is each class has a color, and I usually let them have some voice in what color their class is going to be. But normally I want my blue and my orange, because those are our school colors, to be my first day. So on blue day, I have blue class first, and on orange day, I have orange day first. That's just for my sanity. But the rest of it, I kind of let them have a choice. If a student is absent, their team is responsible for taking their folder out. Every single student in all of my classes has their own folder, their own notebook. Yes, it's a little pricey, but if you catch Staples when they're having their sale, or Target or Walmart when they're having their sales, it's helpful. But it's worth it. It's so worth my sanity. So anywho, they keep everything that I asked them to put in their folder goes in their folder, and then anytime we're writing something and we're not using our digital devices to take notes, we write it in our notebook. So I'm never passing out paper. I'm never asking where your paper is, because they're not allowed to take these out of the classroom. And I've reused these several times because we are a one-to-one device school. So most of the time we're using digital to take notes, except maybe the first 6 weeks and the last couple of weeks, or when we're practicing cursive writing, or when we're just brainstorming, things of that nature. So what I have them do is at the end of the year, if they want to take them, they can keep them. But if not, I have them pull out the pages they've used, and what's left is what the next person will have in the next school year. So that's how I budget my dollars and keep everything organized. So if little Johnny's absent, it is Samantha's opportunity to be a leader, and she gets Johnny's work. She puts his number on it, because I have all of my students numbered based on the class roster. Just makes it easier to alphabetize things, and they're required to put their number on their work when they turn it in. And so she puts his number on there. If she knows how to spell his name, or she pulls it off his folder, Johnny knows when he comes back, I need to look at my folder to see what I missed and make sure I get it done. This saved me. There was a time when I was probably my third year teaching, and there was a parent who was going to the board of the district about her child not getting missing work while he was out. And another teacher did not have a system in place. Once I showed her my system and explained to her where his work was and how he did receive it, I was not involved in whatever happened after that with the district and him not getting his missing work. And he did just fine in my class, but that's because I had a system in place that the kids knew, because I trained. That's part of what I do the first 2 weeks of school, is get these notebooks labeled, make sure they know their number, make sure they understand how to put them away, make sure they understand where they're stored, what their class color is. The system helps so much. So yes, I have 7 different colors, because most school years I have 7 different classes, or I'll use one for my pride group, especially when we have to pass out papers at the homeroom is what some schools call it. If we have to pass out papers at the beginning of the year or the beginning of the day, and a student's not there, I can make sure they still receive it, because it'll be in their folder. And it's just one less thing I have to remember to do. All I have to do is anyone who's absent, because I'll have all of their assignments. If I'm passing something out, for example, we use newspapers. If I'm passing their newspapers out, they're already numbered and color coded. So I take a Sharpie that's blue, and for my blue group, I just go 1, 2, 3, all on the top of each assignment. So when I say student 8, and they're like, oh, he's absent, oh, that team person will come, grab it, put it in the folder, and I don't have to think about it anymore. Student 8 has his assignment, it's in his folder. So that's just, and since I'm giving tips while we're here, here's a bonus. This has nothing to do with missing work. I've had these same markers probably since 5 years, maybe. And it's time to replace them, not because the students haven't treated them well, but just because they're starting to run out of ink, especially the blacks. But my point is, you take any type of strong tape. So this is a trick I got off of Pinterest, and they just take them out, use whatever, do what they need to do with them, and then they match the color back and put the blue back where the blue goes.